to the cloud. Awesome. We're going to get started in about 30 seconds here. I want to say thank you to everyone for tuning in. Excited to do the final session today with my man, Leo Chen. Well, welcome. Really do appreciate everyone's attention. If you're on live with us, throw live in the chat below, in the comment section below. Really would love to know where you're at in the world. Let us know where you're at. We're live in the Mindset in Business Secrets Facebook group. We're live on my page, and we're also live in the Kingston Lane community. I am joined here with Leo Chen. Last session, we're going to talk about how to win deals with ease. Leo, you've already gone through a couple. I'm going to hand it right over to you. I'm going to kind of monitor the chat and, just excited for you to share some more value around secrets of a successful modern day real estate agent. Hand it over to you. Thank you once again for doing this for us. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Cody. Thanks so much. As you guys know, this is a series of 3 webinars that we're doing called Secrets of Successful Modern Day Agent, and this is the 3rd of the 3. And so the purpose of these web series is really just to help agent, old and new, to learn from the trenches of what's really working right now at this moment. So not a year ago, not a month ago, not even 3 months ago. As you know, the market has changed a lot, but these are things that I practice personally myself, and would like to be able to share that with you guys to help you guys get better at leveling up. And so let's get right to it here. A little bit about me. I'm a luxury market realtor here in Orange County, California. We're kind of an hour south of LA. And I've worked in the past 3 different tech startups, and the last one being over 10 years as a director of IT for a very successful interactive agency. And also on the side, have done a lot of tech stuff, including building e-commerce stores, and shipping and drop shipping and all that kind of stuff that some of you might be familiar with. And then I'm a 2nd generation realtor. That means my mom was a realtor for over 35 years, and I am the 2nd generation to kind of work in this business. And about 8 years ago, I transitioned from being a tech executive to being in a real estate business, and specifically more on the residential side of sales, but as well as investments. And then the last part you should know about me is that since I live in California, we just love the California lifestyle. And everything about me is really about having fun, and also do good business with good people, do long-term, build long-term relationships with long-term people who want to continue to grow, like Cody here, that's very graciously allowed me the time to be able to do this with him. And so that's a little bit about me. And as I mentioned before, this is the third part, of our webinar. And on May 12th, we did lead generation blueprint. On June 8th, we did the 3 automation superpowers. And today we're going to do how to win offers with ease. Because you see, now that you've been able to generate leads, you've been able to automate the leads efficiently in an organized manner, so you can work through your workflow, and hopefully you're able to convert them and start showing them homes as buyers, and get them interested in certain homes that you are finding for them. And then hopefully you can start making an offer if they're interested in the homes that you're showing them. So this is kind of the last leg of the buyer journey, if you will. And so let's get right to it, okay? So the purpose of this webinar, we're calling this the how to win offers with ease. Okay. And really the whole point of this is to position yourself as the agent to work with to the listing agent. Okay. That you are the ideal agent that they would want to work with to sell the home that they got listed and to get the best offer that they can. But know that there isn't going to be any problems throughout the process. So we want to be able to give you the framework around how to position you as the ideal agent to work with so that you can get your offers accepted. So that's the main purpose of this webinar here. But as you know, as a buyer's agent, there are 3 main problems. Okay, when we show our buyers homes out there, we always feel a little uneasy about whether or not the buyer is going to like the home, whether they're going to love the home, whether the agent is super picky about certain things. So so we want to walk through these 3 main problems, and I'm sure you guys all have felt at one point or another. And number 1 is we don't want to submit an offer assuming our buyer really loves the home and really is set on trying to get this home. We don't want our offers to fall into the black hole. And you know what the black hole is, meaning you spend your time creating the contracts, and as you completed them all, had your client sign them and everything, and you send them to the listing agent, that offer could very well go into a black hole where you're kind of ignored. Okay, whether it's about the price, whether it's about how you organize things. So we're going to try to prevent that from happening. Okay, and number 2, it's super awkward. It's super awkward. Okay, you're walking into somebody's house, you're bringing people along with you. It might be a couple, it might be a family of 4, walking through the house and looking at other people's personal items. And then you got the listing agent hanging around, watching every move that you're making through the house. So it's a super, super awkward situation. Nobody knows each other. And we're hoping we don't say something wrong, or God forbid you had to use the bathroom or something like that. So so a super awkward situation when we're showing homes. Okay, so we're going to try to get around that, and I will give you the specific framework and phrasing around that. And then number 3, you have no process. You have no process. You have no process of how you actually flow through everything. Including, hey, how do you greet the listing agent? What are they thinking? What are you thinking? What do you want out of the deal? What does the buyer's thinking? Are they, friendly and collaborative, or are they super critical about stuff? And it makes things super weird if you don't have a process to guide them through that. Okay, so those are 3 main issues that we have, with showing homes and the getting prepared for the offer process. Okay, so we're going to help you guys solve that as well today's webinar. But just remember, when there's no process, when you have no process or no framework, The only thing you have left is confusion. And when you have confusion, you are not able to work at your best. Things seem to jump out of nowhere. Questions seems to be super ominous. So we don't want that. We want you to have a specific process so that there's only there's no confusion around how you do this. And that the more you're able to do that, the more you'll be able to do send offers and get offers accepted with joy and ease. Okay, so now remember, this process here that I'm going to share with you is your unfair advantage. I literally have ran this dozens and dozens and dozens of times. And if we didn't win the offer, we were at least, out of 10, 20, 30, 40 offers are always the top 2 or 3. So that means we can be in a backup position. Okay, so if the first offer does fall through, that we are on deck. Okay, so our track record around this is very, very good. Okay, because that's, being able to beat out 10 offers is great, but being able to beat out 30 offers, like, you're jumping for joy. Your buyers should be super happy if you're able to do that. And that's what we aim to do for you with this process. Okay, so before we get on to the 3-phase strategy that we have for this, what resonated with you guys? Those of you who are on, Cody, you can chime in. What out of those things we shared resonated that you guys have had experience with, and really hoping that you don't have to ever feel awkward again.
Yeah, I think the process thing is really key for you there, like around the idea that you need a process, like, process creates buyer safety. Like, it's like the confusion element is massive. Like, if they don't know exactly every single step of if they don't know every single step of the way they need to take, yeah, confusion happens. If you can draw out a roadmap specifically for this, we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this. This is the 4 or the 7-step framework we walk you through. I think that's really huge. And if you can map out from how you're going to get them from point A to point B to point C, I think it creates a ton of value for them.
Yeah, I think that's a really great point. Our business is relationship business. It seemingly is always, coming from the left field. Oh, this person asked this, so that means I got to do that. It's very, very reactive. Okay, and no different when we are showing homes that possibly you're going to be making offers on it. And so we want to kind of, clear the air on all that stuff so that what phase you're in and always know what to do. Because really, after having done dozens and dozens of offers over the last couple of years, especially during COVID, what a buyer's market it's been, that we have come to realize that all of these things all have correlations on how we submit offers and how we get them accepted. Okay, so let's before we do that, I know Cody want to share a link of where he can ask you guys for a survey after the webinar.
Yeah, so I threw the link in the chat, so in the comment section below. So whether you're listening back on live or wherever you're listening to, you just go to the link there, just comment replay, and what I'll do is I will get you I'll give you access to the 3 sessions that we did, and I will also make sure that you also get the survey as well. So just comment replay in the section below, and I'll get you the link.
Yeah, and all of you guys who might find it useful and wanted the slides and things like that, definitely let us know. I'll get it over to Cody. You can give it to you guys. Nothing you need to do right now. You may not even need to take many notes if you have all of this recordings and all the slides. Okay. All right. So this process has 3 main phases. Okay, and we're going to go over those phases, right now. So number 1 is the preparation. And the preparation is regarding preparation of your clients. If you don't do this part, everything will fall apart. Okay, the reason is if your clients are not prepared on how they're going to submit an offer with the financial framework that they intend to give to buy the home, which means, are you doing a loan? Are you doing it cash? If you're doing it cash, of course, you know you can close early. So that gives you an advantage right away. So we're going to talk about how we can do that with a loan, but still be able to compete with cash buyers. Okay. And number two, the 5-minute rapport. Okay. The key piece to getting your offers accepted is the listing agent. Okay. And that is your job. It's not your buyer's job. It's not your grandma's job. It's not your friend's job. It's your job to build rapport with the listing agent so that they know who you are. Okay, and that they can work with you on getting your offer accepted, because they're the gatekeepers to this acceptance process. Okay, and number three, the perfect offer. Okay, the perfect offer meaning in documentation, in contract, in your email, how you communicate to them makes it a perfect offer. And we're going to walk through all three of these phases here in more detail. And so let's get right to it. Number one, using a loan to buy like cash. All right. I don't know how many times I heard like, hey, are you buying with cash? Do we need to be a cash buyer in order to get this home? But at the end of the day, we can do that. We can get you a loan. You're going to pay with a loan. However, we're going to be able to present it to the listing agent and to the sellers as if it were cash. And what are the advantages of cash? The advantages of cash is that you can close early, you don't have any appraisals, and you can demonstrate that you are serious buyer. But a lot of times cash buyers, they're very fickle. They know that they can find other homes and be able to show the cash to be able to say, oh, I can get that one accepted. So I don't believe that cash buyers are the best buyers. Okay, so to give you an unfair advantage over cash buyers though, let's say you are getting a loan. And you definitely want to have a pre-approval ready, but did you know that you can actually work with the lender, work with the mortgage broker to get your loan pre-approved, underwritten before you actually submit an offer, which means everything is already approved from the lender. Your loan contingencies could be between 5 to 7 days. And oftentimes I've been able to submit 5-day loan contingencies. And within those 5 to 7 days, you can do an appraisal, which is required by all loans. And that's extremely competitive. Now, if you've been in the business a while, you know that loan contingencies usually can be at the minimum 14 to 15 days, and on average over 21 days. That does not give you an advantage. Okay, that does not give you that. That does not say to the seller like, oh, we're going to have to wait 15 days to 21 days to be able to know if you're actually going to buy this house, if you actually can be able to qualify, and the loan will approve without any problems through underwriting to be able to sell this home. Okay, so talk to your lenders, talk to your mortgage brokers, and ask them, hey, can we have our buyers conditionally approved for the loan so that we can submit our offers with very low contingency periods, such as 5 to 7 days. Okay, the really, really, really good lenders will be able to do that. Okay, so make sure you find the right lenders for your buyers to do that, because then and only then you can treat your offer like cash. Okay, so that's number one. Be sure that your buyers are prepared for that. And at the very minimal, if you can do a pre-approval, great, but let's bring the contingency periods down. All right, number two, the 5-minute rapport. Okay, you all heard it, it's cliche, but I cannot stress this enough. You are never going to get a second chance to make a first impression. So as you walk through the home, showing your buyers the home and let them just go browse, look around the rooms, look around the kitchen. Your job is to find the listing agent, talk with that listing agent, and ask them questions, some basic questions about what their seller situation is. We don't want to make it, we want to just make it very conversational, very casual, open-ended questions so that you can allow the listing agent to tell you what the sellers are looking for. So for example, how's the showing going? Are you getting lots of people coming in? Break the ice a little bit. Comment about, how the market is. Number two, What a nice house. What's the seller's situation right now? Just leave it open, stop talking, and let them tell you everything they can tell you about the sellers, because any of this information, you are able to draft your offer to be able to match that so that you can give them what they want on the first offer. Okay, you may only get one chance at this offer, so it's important that you know exactly what they're looking for. Number three, when do you expect to review the offers? How long do I have to get the offer in so that I can strategize and put together the price and terms that the sellers want? Okay, another thing could be anything specific that we need to know that the sellers need in order to make this offer work for them. So we're really just vetting out what the sellers really need so that we can write an offer to match. If you don't do that, then you have no idea what they want. And so your chances of getting offer accepted is going to be extremely slim. That's where your offer might fall into the black hole, because they are looking for a specific type of buyer and you didn't write those in because you didn't find out. Okay. And then lastly, as you leave the house, be sure you follow up with them and let them know and say, hey, thank you so much for allowing us to see it. We really appreciate your time. We will be in touch so that we can talk about what my buyer's interests are. Because let's face it, if you guys have ever done listings like I have, there's so much work that goes into actually getting to the point where they're doing an open house or doing a private showing for you to see the house. They had to prep the house, they had to get the sellers, they had to contemplate and go through pricing strategies. They had to put it on market, put on an MLS, maybe that they had to do some ads. They have to schedule the open house, they have to schedule the appointment, then they have to make the time to show up. Okay, and they have to make sure that the sellers are ready to show the home. It's not dirty, it's not got their stuff all over the place, make sure they clean up the kitchen, the bathroom, and all that kind of stuff. So a long line of stuff that had to happen before that listing agent was able to show you the house. So give them the courtesy, okay, and just thank them. Tell them you appreciate the time that they gave you to allow your buyers to show the home. And I think that will go a really, really long ways. And this is the part where you are building a lot of rapport with the seller's agent, because again, they are the gatekeepers. Okay, they are the gatekeepers. If you don't get through to them, there's no getting through the seller, there's no offer. All right, so the moment you enter the house, talk with them, find out everything you can about the house, about the sellers, and what you need to make the offers to be, and then thank them afterwards. Okay, the sooner you can do all of that, the sooner your buyers can start strategizing on how to put the offers together. And this gives you the best chance possible to be able to get your offer accepted. All right, so that's number two. Number three, this is where everything comes together. Okay, now that you've built some rapport with the listing agent, and you have already set your buyers up to be sure that they're ready to make the best offer possible, this here is, oops, looks like my pen is not working. That's a bummer. 1 second here. All right, here we go. Got the pencil to work. All right, so on the right here, you'll see this is the actual offer letter. Okay, and there's a few pieces to this, and you guys can use it as you will, but there are sections to this that addresses both the listing agent and your courtesy and your seriousness about getting this offer accepted. So number one, thank them for showing the house, which we covered already. And number two, a short intro about your clients. I hope, Cody, can you guys see that? Is that readable?
If you can zoom in a bit, that'd be great.
Okay, let's do that. How's that?
Yeah, it's a lot better.
Okay, so number two, a really short paragraph, about about your clients and what just a little introduction, okay, a short intro. And then the third paragraph, you want to write out, in some description. Doesn't have to be long. I've got, kind of a medium length paragraph here about what your buyers are looking for. Okay, looks like my pencils ran out of battery, so I'll just have to I'll just have to point here. And then the fourth thing here is tell them about why your clients love the house, right? If they don't know who you are and what you're looking for, there's no way for them to understand your motivation and the seriousness about the house that you're offering. Okay, and then after that, what the buyers are feeling and what they're hoping for. Okay, they're feeling excited. They're really looking forward to sitting by the pool. They're really looking forward to cooking in that spacious kitchen with their family. Something to kind of show them that, hey, this is what we want. This is the kind of home that we want. Because the sellers have no idea, and they have no way to gauge your seriousness, motivation, how motivated you are on getting this home. And if they don't know, why should they accept your offer? Okay, and next, this is important. You see here listed 1 through 10. Okay, this is a list of what's in the listing in the offer contract. Okay, so if you don't want to expect that the seller's agent's going to be able to read through anywhere from 30 to 60 pages of contracts looking for only these 10 bullet points, which is how much is the price? Okay, are they pre-approved? How do they intend on paying for it? Okay, what kind of appraisal contingencies do they need? How many days inspection? How many days loan? What's their earnest money? And on and on. Once they have been able to read through this short 10-point, they know exactly what's in those 30 to 60 pages of contracts. So if they can do that, they don't have to wade through all those pages to try to find out what your offer actually is. I can't tell you how many agents actually skipped this part and had a blank offer email, had none of this stuff, and just say, hey, see attached. I can't tell you how annoying that is. Okay, because if you're getting 10 offers, 20 offers, 30 offers, imagine each one of those have 30 to 60 pages of contracts to go through for each offers to be able to even just find out what actually is in your offer. All right, so definitely do that. And then below that, okay, is your words on how serious you are on completing the transaction, going through escrow with them, because as you know, once you're in escrow, you're married to this listing agent for anywhere from 30 to 45 days, right? You're communicating every single day about whether or not your escrow is on track. Did the money get funded? Is there any scheduling needed for inspection, for appraisal? So you are married for that period of time of communicating back and forth. So it's important that they know that you're going to be accountable to everything that you say you're going to do, which is why when you met them in person, you say, hey, I'm going to follow up with you. I'm going to call you, and you follow up and you call right away. They already know this is a person I can count on. This is the person that I can work with for the next 30 to 45 days to get this transaction done. Okay, so that's really the bulk of it. Right here, I have verbiage regarding how every single escrow that I've entered, I've closed. The last thing that the listing agent wants is to be able to accept your offer and then knowing that you're not committed and have the whole escrow fall apart because you weren't communicating, you weren't problem solving with them. And so you just want to demonstrate that you can do that. Okay, so that's the one-page offer. This one-page offer, I can't tell you, took me so long to figure out this is exactly what every single listing agent wants. And when they see this, they are already clear to accept your offer, assuming your price and terms are what they're looking for. And even if it's not what they're looking for, they're very happy to respond to you and say, hey, let's change this, let's change that. This is what my sellers can do. Can you guys match it? All right. So that's the phase 3 of it. Once you're able to submit an offer like this, you are going to be able to win most of the time, as I have, either winning the offer or being able to be second runner-up or third runner-up. All right. So at this point, I want to tell you a quick story about how this was executed with one of my clients. So here we go. So here's the story. This is Ramsey and Andrea. They came to me because they had an unresponsive and just did not communicate very well with them on a previous agent, and they were referred to me actually by another agent that works with me. And so when they were referred to me, they were obviously very frustrated because the previous agent did not take care of them at all. Okay, and so we looked at some homes and we made some offers, and they started to realize that they were underpricing the offers they were making, but they were prepared and they did everything that I asked them to do. Okay, and so when we saw this house, this was a house that they thought was much better than all the other houses, because this was actually one of the very few that was completely remodeled and also was bigger than what they were looking for. And so they saw this online. As soon as they came online, they texted me and said, hey, we're really interested in this house. Can we go look at it? So they called me at 11:30 on a Saturday. Right away, I called the listing agent and I said, hey, my clients want to look at it. Can we come see it? And they said, because the market was super hot, they said, hey, we're actually got 4 offers on the table already, and I'm getting ready to accept one in the next 3 hours. I said, no problem. Okay. My clients can be there in the next 20 minutes. We'll look at it, and we would love to be able to send you an offer. Give me 20 minutes to see the house, and we already have everything ready. And within another 30 minutes to an hour, I can send you a offer. And he said, well, I don't know. One of these offers look really good already. And, I don't know that I should, go through with that. I said, I promise you're going to be super happy with this offer. We just want to make sure that this is the house that my client wanted. So in 30 minutes time, I told my client, say, hey, we're ready to go. We got to jump on this right away. So get in your car. Let's go see it. And once we saw it, of course, they really, really loved it. And I called as soon as we saw it and discussed with my buyers the price that we thought this was going to close at. I immediately called the listing agent and say, hey, expect an offer to come in within the next hour. I'm going to get back to my office. I'm going to draft it up right now. Just give me an hour. I want you to wait because I think you're going to be really, really happy with this offer over all the other offers. And we wrote an offer letter similar to this. Okay. And we also drafted all the contracts, and we already had a good gauge on what the sellers wanted. And buyers were all completely on board. And within 4 hours of the time that my clients had called me to see this house, we had an offer acceptance. Okay, so when everything lines up, you can get your offer accepted very quickly. Now we compressed this entire 3-phase process into 4 hours, but this could be a week-long process. But once you have this process, because we had this process down to a T, we were able to execute this in 4 hours. And my clients, they couldn't be more overjoyed, because literally 4 hours ago, they were still looking for a house. And after that 4 hours, they were going into escrow. So that is the power of the process that we have here laid out for you. So that's what I got for you. And so this is what we all aim to be, right? We're able to lay back because we have a process that's easy to follow, and addresses everything that's required for the sellers to be able to accept. We can win offers with ease.
Leo, I appreciate you so much for taking time to provide a ton of value around lead generation, around automation, and just tying it all together with getting them, helping realtors get over the finish line faster, because I can't count the amount of people that I've come in contact with who are like, we cover the lead generation, we cover the automation, and like a lot of times, like especially in the market we just got out of, like people were like, I'm consistently getting beat out. But if you can create a systematic process that actually allows you to essentially repeat something and get things done faster, you create, it almost sounds like you're creating a better, like you create like almost a better relationship with the listing agent, and that experience that you have with a listing agent, they don't forget about that as well. So like my one question to kind of tie this all up is like, how did you go about mapping out your process? Like, you kind of walked us through your 3-step process. Like, are there any nuances that like people need to kind of consider that we maybe didn't talk about from like winning offers with ease? Like, were there any, like, because obviously you put together your systematic process for how you win offers with ease. I guess, like, what are some things that they can, what are some things that might come up that they're just not aware of?
Well, I think, well, fortunately, number one, I have great coaches, as you know, Cody. Great business coaches, great real estate coaches that really think thoughtfully about how we do our business. And it's just not feasible to do business in a haphazard way where you don't have a system or a process to follow, because you can easily get overwhelmed. And what I would offer to people out there is really think about, what the listing agent has to go through, and help them. If you are cooperating on their side, of course they're going to accept your offer. I actually have relationship with agents where maybe the offer didn't work out for some reason. They actually referred. I'll back that up. Actually, in this one case, we did get our offer accepted for my clients, and the listing agent turned around. She loved the process of how we communicated and how we went through escrow, that she actually turned around and referred me to some other clients that she was too busy to serve. So I actually got additional business because that listing agent realizes that I was able to take care of another business for them that they couldn't handle themselves and still get a referral fee from it. Okay. Now, who would do that unless they had such extreme trust in you about how you communicate, how you show up, how you're friendly and collaborative to them, and do things with joy, right? Everybody just wants things kind of taken off their plate if they want. They don't want more work. They want a seamless, joyful, process that to do the transaction. So if you're not that person, or if you might be that person, but you didn't communicate that, or you didn't show that, well, then your offer may not get accepted.
I love what you beautifully said about, like, kind of in a roundabout way about, like, connecting with the listing agent and them referring you. Me and Vikram were talking about this literally, I think today or yesterday, where so many other agents will refer to agents that they know that if I'm going to refer to you, that you're going to take care of my people. And, I'm a huge proponent that buyer safety is created through process. And like, that is so apparent that like you created a systematic approach through automation, but also with your lead generation, but even with your back end sales process of like getting people through escrow, that like you have a clear systematic approach to everything. So what I would like kind of encourage everyone like here is like, just map out what you want your process to be. Like Leo gave you, like, in my opinion, like a ton of value in regards to like even writing the offer, getting the offer accepted. But like, if there are other things that you do in your business, like on the back end sales process, like use a tool like Loom, use a tool like Scribe. We talked about this in the last session about like, and actually like map out what every step of the process looks like for you to get people through escrow. Because if you have a good understanding of like okay, I need to do this, and then I need to do this. It's almost like creating yourself a checklist to make sure nothing falls through the cracks. Because I think that's where a lot of people struggle, with systems and with processes, is like they they think that it's second nature, and then they forget to do the thing that was important towards the process. So, like, can you maybe close out with that? Like, what is your, like, how did you create this process, and how do you make sure that you systematically approach it either a similar way, or what does that framework for you look like?
Well, a lot of things, how you start something is how you finish something. And so, I had walked through on the second webinar that we had uh, with how we automate the scheduling process.
Mhm.
Because when that is easy, when you can put that in, all the reminders, all the follows all go out without you having to worry about it,
Mhm.
that will kick off, a joyful process. And once the scheduling is in order, think about how frustrating it is, right? If you are doing all these things to try to schedule something, and because they didn't get a reminder, or they couldn't see what time it was, or maybe the time got mixed up, like you showed up and nobody showed up because the time was not spelled out. When you have these tools like Calendly and stuff like that to be able to remind you multiple times via email and text, okay, and be able to, they can pick up their phone and say, oh, I can see this is the address where I'm
Yeah.
meeting at, okay, then they start to rely on you. They start to rely on the system that you put together. They start to rely on you as a side effect. And from there, you just continue to do that. And they know that when you say something, something happens. When you say something, something happens. When you say something, something happens. Then you build a tremendous amount of trust. That goes with not only your clients, but with the listing agent, with anybody you come in contact with, right? And so I just would encourage people to build that process into their workflow, so that they can do those things repeatedly. Now, there's always things that are unexpected, but these are core things that we do over and over and over and over again. Scheduling will never stop scheduling showings.
Yeah.
So we should streamline that process to get as tight as possible, but also inform as much as possible, so that there's very little chance that they're gonna mess up on where it's going to be. Everybody's got a phone now. Everybody's got a GPS. Everybody can plug in the address and show up at the right time. Everybody's got text, and we get a text message say, hey, in an hour you need to show up here, right? Imagine 10, 15 years ago when we didn't have that. Like, we had to do all that stuff manually. So
Right.
this is a great tool to use. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't still call your clients and things like that, but these tools are very important. And so same thing with what we talked about, today, the process of, putting your buyers in the best financial situation possible, so that they can say, hey, we want to buy this house. And guess what? Our loan's already approved. Okay.
Mm.
There's no guesswork. They already approved us. Here, let me show you.
Yeah.
Right. That means, hey, I got cash in my hand. Do you want to sell it to me? Right. Imagine that experience. Like, I'm going to hand you cash right now.
Yeah.
Right. Sell me your house. Like, okay, thank you so much. Because aside from having cash, which most people don't have to buy the home, that's the advantage they have, to be above all the other people who didn't get their loans approved. They just
Yeah.
have a pre-approval.
Yeah.
Okay. And so any of those little things, and you want to highlight it, you want to tell your listing agents, you say, hey, by the way, their loan's approved, no problem there. Okay. And in fact, we can remove that contingencies within a very short period of time. Even if you had a cash offer, you would still put in a 5 to 7 day contingency. So you are comparing your loan with their cash offers. So just those things
Yeah.
thoughtfully about what the sellers are looking for, because they're the one that has to say, hey,
Yeah.
am I going to sell it to you or not? So you need to figure out how you're going to get into the door, how you can show them that you're serious, and show them that you have everything required to be able to close it. And if we can communicate that, then great. But if you have everything in line, you didn't communicate that, well, nobody knows.
Beautifully said. The communication, and like, just like as you were talking, I'm just thinking in my head, I'm like, it's so true that like process reduces the friction in the buyer process, because they know every step of the process that you take. So you clearly communicating that process, creating that process, it removes the friction, not just for the buyer, but also for the seller's agent and for the seller. So Leo, I appreciate you more than anything. Thank you for taking so much time out of your busy schedule in order to provide our audience some massive value. Like I said, anyone that is looking for the replay from the last 2 sessions, just comment replay in the comment section below. We'll get access to the 3 sessions. There's a landing page with all the 2 last sessions, and we're going to be uploading this session to that same landing page. So do appreciate you, Leo. Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for tuning in today, and hope you all have a great day. We'll see y'all soon.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you, Cody.
Bye guys.